ESG SDG Token Award for issuer of security token in relation to the environmental, social and governance, and sustainable development goals sectors.
I'm very glad today have the chance to encourage and advocate the use of blockchain technology in pursuing sustainable development goals. Actually, the benefits of impact token are multifold. It increases the trust between stakeholders, promote the financial and social inclusion, and it offers transparency, accelerate monitoring process, reporting, also verification, which will ultimately encourage behavior that promotes sustainability. The award receiver today, Libra Project, demonstrates a good example. Libra Project is a United Nations Sustainable Development Goals accelerator company that focuses on tokenizing impact projects that helps to reduce carbon emission. They create jobs, educate, and develop sustainable community. The impact token actually is a new approach investing in building better future. Libra Project is using blockchain technology to offer transparency to its investor by providing both live impact data as well as financial data. Libra Project is really doing a good job and very good in steering trust. Congratulations to Libra Project.
Congratulations.
Wow, amazing. Amazing.
Eva, hello and welcome from the United Arab Emirates. And on behalf of the Libra Project team, I'd like to say thank you. And thank you to CoinStreet and all the supporting parties and sponsors who have made these awards happen during such difficult times. These awards really validate the work that Libra Project has been doing over the past few years. The amazing legal work from IntelliLaw on our US offering, and the fantastic work done by Calm on our UAE offering, as well as the work done behind the scenes by Core Connects, our tech partners. I'd also like to thank Abu Dhabi Global Markets. ADGM's progressive digital asset regulatory framework is outstanding, and it's inspiring to have such a supportive financial market that is so incredibly focused on sustainable finance. Next, I'd like to thank the Libra team itself, our shareholders and the stakeholders. Each and every one of our team members has one thing in common: the desire to make the world a better place. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the United Nations and the United Nations Global Compact. When the United Nations launched its Sustainable Development Goals back in 2015, it ignited a spark in the founders and it led to the formation of Libra Project. Climate change is the planet's biggest challenge, and it's our biggest focus. Our ecosystem democratizes green energy projects and facilitates the social inclusion of wealth. Our digital securities provide a solution where investors can have their say in how our impact projects are developed. So each of our investors can do good for others whilst doing good for their wallet. At Libra Project, we believe we can positively impact the lives of over 100 million people by 2030. So again, thank you for this award, it's a real honour. And for all of those of you watching, why don't you join the movement, and why don't you join Libra Project today?
Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to be here today for the inaugural Tokenized Assets and Digitized Securities Awards presentation ceremony to celebrate and recognize the very best global industry leaders for their significant contributions and achievements in the TADS sector. Congrats to the organizers and sponsors for the leadership in putting this together. I'm sure you will agree with me that TADS have tremendous potential to bring about greater efficiency in financial transactions, intermediation, and capital raising. For example, offerings of digital securities can be a faster and more efficient way of raising capital compared to traditional offerings. This may allow small and medium enterprises to more efficiently raise capital to support their business, rather than going through the traditional path of listing on an exchange. Like any innovation, while there are opportunities, there will also be risks. To fully reap the benefits of a TADS economy, any developmental efforts must be supported by progressive regulatory frameworks that encourage innovation and experimentation, while instilling robust governance practices that ensure fairness and transparency among market participants. At Abu Dhabi Global Market, the International Financial Center of Abu Dhabi, we recognize that regulations calibrated correctly can be a tremendous enabler to support the adoption and deployment of TADS, to instill trust and legitimacy while assuring innovation is deployed in a responsible manner. So when we first started formulating our TADS regulatory framework in early 2018, we wanted to make sure we come up with a framework that is comprehensive enough to address the key risks and concerns of different types of investors. Not only the retail and accredited investors, but also the institutional investors. Without institutional investors, it will be challenging for this asset class to go mainstream. And for any products or asset class where institutional investors are absent, it tends to be a very volatile market in terms of pricing. Price discovery will not be proper. As such, other than the much purported AML CFT risk that the regulators focused on at the time, and even now, we went beyond that. We went into how to address the need for proper technology governance, how to address the need for proper custody. If tokens continue to be lost or stolen, it doesn't instill confidence. How do we ensure customers and investors are adequately safeguarded? How do we make sure that exchange operations and surveillance functions are properly conducted? Because there were allegations of wash trades and phantom trades in this space. And even for the assets to be traded on the exchange, we have a series of tests that we apply, including maturity and security of the underlying DLT, the ability of the tokens to be traceable. Looking back, in 2018, when we decided to set a high bar to cater to serious participants seeking a trusted and well-regulated environment to operate in this space, we were not quite sure how the industry will take it. Today, we are seeing the fruits of this approach. We have seen strong interest from TADS players applying for a license to set up operations in ADGM, including exchanges, custodians, and broker-dealers. Indeed, TADS players who are serious about operating in the financial sector should take regulations positively. The recommendations and standards issued by global standards setting bodies such as FATF on the use of digital assets clearly show that they have a legitimate place in the global financial system, and that regulations are key in enabling the benefits of technological innovation. Compliance will be a competitive advantage for TADS firms. We cannot build sustainable business models on regulatory arbitrage. TADS firms may think it is alright to only consider regulatory compliance in the later stage of their developments. However, regulatory scrutiny and compliance will eventually catch up with challenger firms as they scale their businesses. By then, the cost of regulatory remediation may be too inhibitive for the business to continue. Engaging regulators to improve their understanding is a better approach. In this way, it also helps regulators to build standards that are proportionate and facilitate innovation. In a real case example, we are currently working with a startup innovator that allows securities offerings to be compliant by design. By tokenizing the securities and coding regulatory requirements into the tokens by means of smart contracts, the securities can only be offered and traded by accredited investors who meet certain qualifying criteria. This potentially allows firms to simultaneously tap on pools of capital in multiple jurisdictions in a cost-efficient and compliant manner. On a concluding note, the important role that regulators play in fostering innovation cannot be overemphasized. For TADS to be widely adopted, it must be trusted. Our regulatory frameworks create this trust by offering participants in financial services a level of confidence that they can operate in a fair and transparent environment. At ADGM, We see ourselves as catalysts for innovation, and will keep supporting the industry by developing calibrated, effective regulations that facilitate the growth and adoption of TADS. By the same token, no pun intended, I truly applaud the vision and objectives behind the TADS Awards, which has a profound effect of catalyzing the ecosystem for the TADS sector. Finally, kudos to all nominees of the TADS Awards. You're all winners in your own rights. Thank you.
Before moving to the Ecosystem Excellence category, we have the honor of inviting Mr. Chan Hang Fai, Chairman of American Pacific Bancorp, to deliver a short speech for us. Thank you, Mr. Chan.
Mr. Chan Heng Fai, also known as the Game Changer and Unicorn Maker, has a track record of over 45 years of success in business, spanning across many different industries, such as banking, travel, real estate, and clean energy, just to name a few. During that span, Mr. Chan has become known as an expert in company restructuring, having successfully restructured over 35.
In the wealth management, it's not just teaching people how to catch the fish, it's to help people how to grow the fish and make the fish multiply themselves, okay? Which is very important. Now, in every part of life, most of the people ignore how to build their wealth. Wealth do not have to build with a major substantial capital. Wealth can be built with very little money. And I have a passion of teaching young people how to start building their wealth, okay? If you look at Warren Buffett, he started his life as a newspaper boy. He made enough money from delivering newspaper and he learned how to invest. And then if you follow the track and learn how to manage your wealth, and if you start earlier, it will be so amazing how much money you can accumulate and grow through your passage of your life. My advice to them is that no matter what, how young you are, you have to start learning wealth management. So you can be really independent very early age of your life. I teach my grandchildren, you never want to work for money. You only want to work for your passion. You can be very healthy, you can be very wealthy, and if you're not happy, you cannot go through life being a miserable person. But to be very happy, you need your health. Okay, so if your health, but if you have no money, you also have a problem. Okay, my vision is really spread this philosophy as a movement to teach young people how to live a healthy and a sustainable, happy life. Well, I've been doing charity work for a long time, mostly for more senior people, but I find it's more meaningful to help young people. Be good to people and be happy.
A huge congratulations to all our winners. They are the key driving force to further develop this industry moving forward. To all the applicants, thank you for participating in TADS Awards this year. We look forward to seeing you all next year. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the awards presentation for tonight. Thank you again for your presence and support for the awards ceremony of TADS Awards, the world's first international awards for the tokenized assets and digitized securities sector. The full winners list and coverage will be available on our website. Please keep yourselves updated on future activities, and we look forward to seeing you in the 2021 TADS Awards. Thank you and good night.